So basically, what are my thoughts about the Don't Make Cry? The trailer and stuff. Honestly, I think it looks pretty good and stuff. Like I have no complaints, and I'm a Don't Make Cry fan. I've been a fan of Don't Make Cry since I was like what 16. So this year will be actually the 10th year I've actually been a fan of Don't Make Cry. Ironically, so yeah. But I'm a huge fan of the series. Devil May Cry is definitely one of my favorite Capcom series. Dante is one of my favorite Capcom and video game characters in general. Yeah. I think the trailer actually looks pretty nice and stuff. I'm not saying it has the best animation and the best designs in the world, but for the most part, I like the fight choreography, and Dante actually seems pretty entertaining as a character. I'll definitely go into a little bit more detail in a second. But yeah, I honestly, like I said, I have no complaints. So, based on the trailer, it seems to me like this is a readaptation or a retelling of Devil May Cry 3, the manga, and the Devil May Cry 3, video game and stuff. Considering that Dante is dealing with an Alice in Wonderland themed character and stuff, the White Rabbit, and the lady's also in the mix too. And this seems like this is her and Dante's first encounter. Which, if you guys played Devil May Cry 3, you would know that was the first time Dante and Lady had actually met and stuff. But yeah, but this is following a younger Dante and stuff, who's most likely like 18 or something like that around this time, because in the series usually Dante, like in Devil May Cry 1, he's like in his 20s. Devil May Cry 2, kind of hard to determine, but I would say he's between like his 20s to maybe 30s. And then Devil May Cry 4, he is definitely in his 30s. And Devil May Cry 5, I think Dante's probably in his early 40s, if not late 30s, definitely. But anyways, but yeah, this is definitely focusing on a younger Dante and stuff again. Yeah, like I said, I'm not against it. This seems like him and Lady's first encounter, and he's also dealing with the White Rabbit and stuff. Yeah, kind of reminds me of Tekken Bloodlines and stuff. If anybody actually remembers that anime and stuff, Tekken Bloodlines was a Netflix adaptation of Tekken and stuff, and it was a retelling the events of Tekken 3 and stuff, following Jin and all that stuff. So yeah, and it was a pretty decent series. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like it wasn't like, oh my god, mind blowing, but it was all right. It was an alright series. Not something a lot of people talk about or remember, but this is what this Devil May Cry show is starting to kind of remind me of. Is like, oh okay, so this might just be like Tekken and stuff, or Tekken Bloodlines. So basically, here's what's talked about the Netflix anime for right now, about the trailer and stuff that a lot of people aren't really too fond of, or a lot of people are ranting about here and there. First off, you got Johnny Young Bosch voicing Dante. Now, Dante's original voice actor was Ruben Langdon and stuff. He voiced Dante inside Devil May Cry 3, 4, and 5. And also the Devil May Cry anime back in 2009, I think. So he's been the voice of Dante for years, so he's kind of the definitive Dante voice. And of course, there's been other people too that has voiced Dante. He's had a different voice actor inside Devil May Cry 1 and Devil May Cry 2, and they were great. But of course, Ruben Langdon, like I said, he is the definitive Dante voice. So when you hear, you hear his voice or whatever, you go oh, that's Dante. Oh, that's Ken Masters from Street Fighter. You know what I mean? So yeah, I know that is kind of a little bit of an L, or that's kind of oh, okay. Well, that sucks that he's not coming back. But I got nothing personal against Johnny Young Bosch voicing Dante. Yeah, is it kind of weird because Johnny Young Bosch already voices Nero from, Dante's nephew and stuff in Devil May Cry 4 and Devil May Cry 5? Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I'm not necessarily against it. I don't think Johnny Young Bosch doesn't have the range. I don't think he doesn't have the talent or anything. No, I think Johnny Young Bosch, yeah, I'm all right, I'm cool with it. I'm oh, okay. It's a little weird because he already voices Nero, so he's voicing Dante now. All right, I guess. But it's not like it's unbearable or it's not intolerable or something like that, you know what I mean? But yeah. But, I like Johnny Young Bosch. He voices Ichigo from Bleach, and then, he also is he's also Adam and stuff. Adam is one of my favorite Power Rangers from back in the day and stuff. I gotta say, he's probably one of the best black Green Rangers in my opinion. Probably, one of the best Green Rangers. So, yeah, at least top 5. And he was also a really good martial artist too. But anyways, that's enough about Johnny Young Bosch. So yeah, a lot of people are kind of complaining and talking about it. I don't personally think it's that bad, or it's that you know what I mean? It's just it's all right. Yeah, could we have gotten better like Ruben Langdon? Yeah, sure, definitely. Because again, like I said, he's the definitive Dante voice. But Johnny Yovash, I think he can pull it off. And then a lot of people are also complaining about Dante's characterization. They're like, "Oh, Dante's quipping too much. He's too corny. He's you know what I mean? Like I don't know." And I'm just like, I mean, but he kind of does act like Dante though. I mean, I know Dante is not like how I would describe Dante is Dante's a little bit more nonchalant, a little bit chill in his downtime and stuff. And yeah, he throws a few jokes here and there, a few quips. He doesn't do it constantly where it's kind of annoying or you want to just tell him to just shut up, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But nah. It's not like that bad, but yeah. But Dante, yeah, he's a cool guy. And on top of that, usually when he's like doing his little devil hunting thing, Dante definitely loves to have fun with himself and stuff, which is like what I like about his character is that Dante, on the job, he loves to have fun. He's like, you know what I mean? He's always like, yeah, happy to kill some demons and stuff, shooting them up, stabbing them, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I like characters like Dante and stuff. Like I kind of put them in the same category as like Sly Cooper and Sonic and stuff because they just love doing what they love to do for fun. And not a lot of people honestly bring this up, but like I mean Dante, I mean not only is he very high spirited, but I mean like the guy literally like in the one of the first cutscenes of Devil May Cry 3, Dante is like literally like after he gets stabbed up by some demons and stuff that came by his office and stuff. What does Dante do? He goes by his box, he turns it on, and then he starts beating up some demons and stuff while messing around, eating some pizza and all that stuff, killing demons. I'm like, is that not Dante? Or in Devil May Cry 4, I mean, when him and Abigail was going back and forth, what happened? Oh yeah, they started to break out into some Shakespearean play for a second before they before they squared up and fought to the death. But I mean, was that not fun? Or Devil May Cry 5 when again Abigail's daughter Nico and stuff, which called her and Dante and stuff, they were kind of dancing a little bit. Well, Nico was hilarious as shit in that game. But Devil May Cry 5, when she made that hat for Dante, and Dante was like, he turned on his smooth criminal Michael Jackson phase and was like, I'll be taking that. Turning that hat into a weapon. That shit was funny. But yeah, so I mean, like, I don't see how Netflix Dante is ruining Dante as a character, So I'm just like, all right, I feel like you guys are kind of exaggerating a lot on that one. So I like that about them. And this Netflix Dante, I'm like, yeah, he seems to be exactly that. Sure, he might have some corny jokes and stuff here and there. Like, there was that one scene where, that 1 minute clip or whatever where Dante saves that one lady and she's all like, she's freaked out and Dante is like, oh man, I messed up the joke. All right, just pretend like I shot that guy. Bang. I guess Skeletor didn't hold up well after the 80s. I don't know. It wasn't that funny, but it was like, all right. I don't hate his character though. And then that other scene too, where Lady ripped off Dante's shirt or whatever because I guess she was chastising him for being a demon or something like that. And Dante was like, yes, I know, ripped and handsome and all that. That doesn't give you an excuse to be ripping a man's clothes off like that. That was kind of funny to me. I don't know. But just because his jokes probably don't land like that or he's just quipping a little bit, I mean, I still feel like he's Dante, though. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't feel like unbearable or he doesn't feel like an edgelord or something like that, which was kind of the problem with the reboot Dante because even though I like the DMC reboot and stuff, and I always say this, but I kind of say that this honestly would have been better if it was called something else or if it was its own property. Then I don't think people would have had a problem. But when you made it a reboot of Devil May Cry and stuff, that's not a good representation of Devil May Cry or Dante or Virgil as characters and stuff, That's how I put it, Good gameplay, just the story and everything was just a little, yeah, that doesn't compare to Devil May Cry, But, yeah, even though I kind of did like the story, I just don't, it's not a Devil May Cry story, though, it's just something else. But, yeah, in that game, Dante, he was rude, vulgar. They were constantly trying to make him seem like he was cooler than what he actually was, having sex with all these prostitutes and shit like that. I'm like, that is not Dante. Like that is not Dante as a character. No, but it is what it is. But nah. But back on topic. So yeah, a lot of people were like, oh, maybe comparisons to him. So far, I don't get that from Netflix Dante. Okay, but. Yeah, like I said, I don't mind his voice acting. I just don't mind his I don't mind his characterization either. As long as you keep that depth, over his trauma with his mom and stuff, with Eva dying to protect him and stuff, and his brother and stuff, him losing him, and then they're actually putting Virgil in the anime, so that's actually pretty nice. But I'll talk about that in a second. And all that baggage with Sparta. As long as you put that in there, and Dante is a likable character, and he's throwing a few quips here and there, but he's not like talking obsessively like like a certain wall crawler that I had a problem with in a previous show. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Then a lot of people also making comparisons to the original Devil May Cry anime that came out back inside the 2000s. Which, don't get me wrong, it's a really good show, and I've already said this before, but I'll say it again. It is canon to the actual Devil May Cry video games and stuff. It's just like taking place after Devil May Cry 1 and probably a little bit before Devil May Cry. Well, I'm not even going to say probably. I'm going to say, yeah, it does take place before Devil May Cry 2 and 4, so it's wedged between there. It's actually a pretty decent series and stuff. It's kind of just more so of a show about Dante and what does he do in his downtime, and just normally like most of his commissions as a devil hunter that he normally gets and stuff. It's a 12 episode limited series and stuff. You know how Capcom used to like make a lot of like their some of their shows and stuff, like some of their, well, not shows, some of their franchises or series have like other like shows and stuff like that, like Beautiful Joe, Street Fighter, Mega Man. Yeah, Devil May Cry was one of those franchises back in the day where they made a anime about it, and it was pretty good. It was well animated and stuff. Yeah, and all that other stuff, and the characterization was pretty good, etc. And of course, they also had Ruben Langdon in that show as well. But yeah, so it's not it's definitely not a bad series. I definitely love the intro and all that stuff. There were some things though that they kind of missed or they left out. Like for example, Dante doesn't have his devil arms, which in case you don't know, or he wasn't showcasing his devil arms in the thing, which that would have been cool to see. But in case you don't know what his devil arms is an ability that Dante has, where basically he can do some Mega Man copy ability type shit, where he can, like, after he defeats like a boss or something, he kind of takes their soul and he's able to like weaponize it. And Dante and Virgil both have this ability actually. Nero doesn't have a devil arms, but he has his devil bringer, and as a substitute for the devil arms, that's his own variation and stuff. Where his devil bringer, Nero's able to do all that that stuff, like that stuff with his arm and stuff, his demonic arm, make large energy constructs and stuff like that. And then that got replaced by the cyborg arm, and then he grew his arm back, etc. But anyways, they did not have that inside the anime. We never really saw what Dante's Devil Trigger looked like in the anime, which that would have been cool. He actually does go into his Devil Trigger form for a second, like towards the end of the series when he's defeating the last boss. But after that, or the final villain and stuff, but we never really see it. It's just a glimpse or a close up on his face, and I was like, damn, that was disappointing. And then Virgil also doesn't show up either, which I already know Virgil's kind of dead at this point because, in case you guys don't know your Devil May Cry stuff, Virgil had died in Devil May Cry 1 originally, and he wasn't supposed to come back. And then later on, it wasn't until like Devil May Cry 5, much years later, where he actually did come back. And he started wreaking all this havoc and stuff as Urizen. But yeah, Virgil. But I'm not saying Virgil they should have broke continuity and just put Virgil in there. I'm just saying they could have at least like showed a flashback or maybe at least mentioned the guy, because Virgil was hardly even mentioned in the series, Like strictly just watch Devil May Cry, the anime, you would not even know Dante had a twin brother, I'm just saying, because there was actually like a scene, or not even a scene, there was an episode where Dante was meeting up with an old friend and stuff who recognized him, and he was like, "Hey, Tony, it's been a long time." And he's like, "I'm not Tony," because Tony used to be a name that Dante used to go by before the events of Devil May Cry 3 for a while, and him and his mom used to live in some village and stuff when they were younger. But there was a photo of him and his mom together, but no Virgil, so I'm like, damn, they just left out his twin brother completely from that photo, because it would have made sense, or they would have mentioned Virgil, you know what I mean? I'm just pointing that out. But it definitely seems like in this anime, they'll definitely show that Dante might have a devil trigger and stuff. Hopefully that glowy red eyes thing that he had in the trailer, there will be a lot more to that than just, you know what I mean, a little bit more to the form and stuff, where he actually goes into the devil trigger form. Then we also might get Virgil and stuff, which, he is in the trailer and stuff, so we're definitely going to get an on-screen Dante versus Virgil fight, so that should be pretty cool. So yeah, And again, this isn't me crapping on the original anime. The original anime is definitely, it's a classic. It's a classic gem. But I'm just saying though, with this new Netflix anime, I mean, it can definitely be a pretty good opportunity to put in some stuff from the games and stuff that we enjoyed, and just put that on the screen. Like I would definitely love seeing like Mundus. Definitely, I would love to see Mundus. I know it's a little bit too early to break in Mundus and stuff and redo that, or do a readaptation of the Devil May Cry 1 thing, but I would love to see Mundus animated again and stuff, because we haven't really seen Mundus like that since the PS2. And of course, there's the reboot, which I think Mundus was a pretty good villain inside the reboot Devil May Cry as well. But I mean, like him as that statue and all that stuff, and him fighting Dante, that fight definitely needs to be like animated. That would be like amazing. And then I would also love to see Arkham and stuff. He was probably my favorite Devil May Cry villain. And hell, I'll even do you one better. I definitely would actually like to see Arius and stuff. Remember Arius from Devil May Cry 2? He was the villain in that game and stuff. I would definitely like to see like his corporation in the background. Maybe he's probably doing some shady stuff on the fly or whatever. That'd be pretty cool to actually include inside the Netflix Devil May Cry anime. I'm just saying, if you're just going all in on this being a bit of like a bit of a readaptation of stuff, I would love to see those elements incorporated. Now, the only thing I just don't like what I see so far is honestly Lady's design, because Lady is obviously supposed to look like a lady and stuff, or she had a schoolgirl look back inside Devil May Cry 3 to kind of show her age a little bit, because her and Dante were like teenagers around that time, and I guess she was kind of coming out of like some kind of like Catholic school or something maybe. So she always wore that kind of schoolgirl based outfit. Like I said, to show her age. And then Devil May Cry 4, where we see Lady again, it's kind of a little bit more modified, where she's kind of wearing a more of a professional kind of attire. And then, Devil May Cry 5, I guess they sort of ish kind of went back to it. I don't know. But regardless, though, I would rather see that outfit than what Lady had on, where it seemed like she had some kind of jumpsuit or whatever, which looked pretty weird, and it kind of covered up her body, making her a little bit more androgynous looking or masculine. And I'm like, yeah, why'd you guys do that? Like, that is so dumb. So I'm not a huge fan of that design. But other than that, I mean, that's the only gripe I really have about the show so far as like, the trailers and stuff goes. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, I know some people are probably saying that it's woke or whatever and stuff like that. You got some people that are like on the anti-woke side, which I'm just like, yeah, some of them be like, extra, just trying to, be mad about everything. This, however, I don't really have anything that this doesn't offend me as a fan. It doesn't like, piss me off or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm cool with it. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's definitely one of the things this year, actually, that I've been looking forward to. It's actually coming out on April 5th. But yeah. But tell me down below what you guys think. Did you guys like the new Devil May Cry trailer and stuff? And are you looking forward to it? Are you going to watch it? Are you not going to watch it? Does it suck? And if it does suck, tell me down below. Why does it suck, But this is the John Lowe Fox, and I'm out. Peace, and until we meet again.